Oh, man. Well, it's evening time. Watch some old Trump news and all this other Trump news going on. I think they about ready to indict him again or something like that. And mm-hmm. I think his lawyer like quit and ready to testify, something like that. Then I decided I want to go watch some old debates they was having. And I'm always trying to understand where he be coming from a lot of times. 'Cause I don't be getting it. I don't be getting it sometimes. But um, I watched a debate with him and Hillary Clinton. No, yeah, wait a minute. I watched a couple of different debates, but it's funny. Let me just talk about it a little bit because I don't know if anybody did much of talking about it. But when they talk about lowering taxes for the wealthy and people paying taxes and all this stuff, my biggest problem is that some of these politicians like him, whether you're a politician or not, actually, some of these wealthy people like him don't understand how taxes probably work. Because guess what? People deal with that same disappointment if you owe taxes, right? And you gotta pay it. People do the same thing, and they probably hurt their pockets the same way. They just don't see it that way. That's my opinion also. But I think when you factor in how the government calculate what we use as a whole, and that's what Hillary Clinton was saying in this one debate. Like, you can't be just dropping tax. Everybody got to pay they call it their fair share of taxes. So when you calculating what you use and your expenses and doing everything else with what you got, then you paying taxes on it. At the very least, just to keep the lights on, if you want to call it that. So when you're sitting there, bidding and trying to get away with lowering taxes, and some people in some cases not paying none at all, who's responsible for their civil bill, if you will? I'm gonna just use that term. It's a civil bill. Like you got civil court, you got domestic court, all this stuff. That's a civil bill we all accumulate every year. So if you got, I don't know, you sitting on $30 million or $25 million, and you got a business, and you paying your taxes, and you're not paying your taxes, then it's income that's not circulating properly. And that's all I think taxes really do is circulate properly. You know what I mean? So he's sitting there, got these big corporations taking tax cuts. Meaning what? The corporations are getting tax cuts, but if you ever dig into any of these companies, there's just more money for each individual, and they got a lot of different things tied to that. But these individuals are just making more money, and then he leaving at the point he left. Or I say leaving out. It's not current, thank God. It's past tense. But I feel like he was leaving out the fact that you creating more jobs, but these people who've been there aren't getting these promotions to equal these tax cuts you're talking about. So if you say if you the boss, or if you own your company and you getting a tax cut and you keeping that cut of the money for yourself, you're not readily giving these increases to these employees you have, are you? No. And again, all that money go to is towards your finances and towards your bills and stuff, like, to whatever your property and whatever your situation has to take care of expenses for, yo. So it baffles me for years now. They've been priding themselves on getting over on that. But maybe they just don't. Maybe we all didn't understand how it worked. You know. And again, I don't know the levels to how they calculate it all, but they've been trying for a long time to figure it out. But playing nothing at all, like nothing, like that's uncandid. And she also pointed out what $22 trillion in debt because of that stuff. And as soon as it's like him being a Republican, as soon as they got in the office, that's the first thing he signed up to make sure he did. So yeah, the Dow Jones and all that was growing and looking good. Why? Because these investors was able to invest more money, but they wasn't taking care of the people the way they thought, pretending to assume they was, in my opinion. And that's why you see that the numbers are growing, not because people are doing better. What they used to always say, wealthy get wealthy, poor get poorer. So it's just kind of funny to hear him still saying that, and he sure signed into law. And now I think about to go to jail. I don't know. Deuces.